damage. This as Pentagon officials confirm they believe the Libyan Air Force is engaged in the fight.
It seems to me that we could neutralize very easily a very antiquated air defense system with old airplanes and obviously not very good pilots fairly easily, and then that would help the people who are sacrificing their very lives as we seek.
Another senator says the president should be ready to take it a step further.
I think we should be open to providing them with arms if they need it to succeed in their revolution.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton testified that they are a long way from making any decision on a no-fly zone. President Barack Obama says he wants the ability to respond rapidly, but gave no indication that he's going to do anything soon. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera at the White House.
To Egypt now, where the military council has appointed a new prime minister. Essam Sharaf will take over from Ahmed Shafiq, who resigned on Thursday. Sharaf, a former transport minister, has been asked to form a new government. Sharon Tadros has more from Cairo.
It was the protesters' main demand, and on the eve of another million-man march, it was met. The military announcing on their Facebook page they'd accepted the resignation of Prime Minister Ahmed Shafiq, the man appointed by former President Mubarak before he stepped down. 12 hours before, Shafiq was on Egyptian television having heated debates. He told presenters and guests he wasn't planning on stepping down, even given the public pressure and planned protests. He also defended the state security apparatus Egyptians have come to loathe.
Friday's demonstration, which had been gaining a lot of momentum here, is still going ahead. But organizers say it's not going to be a sit-in or a protest, but a day of celebration because the Egyptian people have had one of their main demands met.
Friday will be a festive day. We will finish in the evening and tell people there is no need for further action now. We need to give a chance to the new cabinet to tell us how and when the rest of our demands will be met.
This is the man tasked with forming a new cabinet, Egypt's new Prime Minister Essam Sharaf. He served briefly as transport minister under Hosni Mubarak, but quit his post in protest after a deadly train crash. He said the state was not serious enough about solving traffic issues in Egypt. Youth and opposition groups support his appointment. They want a new government of technocrats and to be rid of any remnants of the old regime. With political changes going full steam ahead, Egyptians are cautiously optimistic. They're keeping a close watch, aware the people's strength lies in their stamina to keep pushing for the kind of Egypt they're still dreaming of. Shireen Tadros, Al Jazeera, Cairo.
There have been reports of violent clashes between Sunnis and Shias in Bahrain. Youths armed with sticks and batons charged at each other on the streets of Hamad. It's the first time the two sides have openly clashed since pro-reform protests started in the country 2 weeks ago. This comes as opposition groups say they are ready to talk to the government. In Oman, several thousand pro-government supporters took part in one of the largest rallies staged in the country so far. They gathered outside Sultan Qaboos bin Said's palace in the northeastern town of Mana. 2 people were killed in a pro-democracy protest in Sohar on Sunday. And hundreds of Tunisians have been celebrating the announcement by the interim president of elections on July 24th. The polls are to elect a council to form a new constitution, but this also means that Fouad Mebaza will stay in power beyond his March 15th deadline. Anti-government protesters in Yemen are planning to hold more rallies later on Friday. They want President Ali Abdullah Saleh to stand down immediately, but some opposition groups have offered Saleh an exit plan to leave by the end of the year. Hashem Ahalbara reports from the capital, Sana'a.
The roadmap is ready, but where will it lead? After spelling out their vision for a future without President Saleh, Yemen's main opposition parties say there is little point in any further talks with the nation's veteran leader.
People on the street should have the final say on the political change in this country, but there needs to be an option that avoids anarchy. That's the role of the political parties, but we shouldn't be disconnected from the people.
The president, though, remains defiant. He insists that if he leaves office early, a power struggle will be unavoidable.
Because this country have got a lot of things which are different from any other scenario. We have got Southerners who have been asking for secession. We've got the Houthis who are asking for different ideas and views, perhaps a sort of local government with full power. You have got Al-Qaeda. So we have got to have a clear, perspective of what change we're aiming at.
And that clarity isn't easy to achieve.
The Yemeni Socialist Party has its constituency mostly in the south, and the south is under tremendous repressive pressure. So that is not conducive to YSP participating in dialogue. But the presence of Salafi extremists in the dialogue, I think, has alarmed another party, Al-Haq party, and it's causing additional complications in the dialogue.
In the capital, anti-government protesters celebrated an army officer who joined their demonstration. And they say their fight will go on regardless of the political confusion. Back to square one. The protesters and the opposition are planning mass rallies on Friday to put more pressure on President Saleh to step aside. They want to bid him farewell, and that, they say, can't wait for another 2 years. Hashim Al-Barra, AlJazeera, Sana'a.
We'll have more from Libya after the break, including why this successful entrepreneur is willing to give up his business and life in the U.S. to return to Libya. Warm smiles mask growing tensions. The U.S. and Mexican leaders meet to discuss cross-border drug violence. Stay with us.
As the rain pours over Johannesburg, we'll keep your spirits up.
Hello, it's feeling a little on the fresh side across the Arabian Peninsula at the moment. Quite a keen northwesterly wind, the Old Shamal wind, that's coming back in. It's only 24 Celsius here in Doha. Similar values to come too for Abu Dhabi, but at least it will stay largely dry. A chance of 1 or 2 showers just around the southern end of the Red Sea. And this little discreet line of showers, maybe just pushing up into central parts of Saudi Arabia as we go through Saturday. Still at around 24 Celsius, just around the Gulf. At least, as I said, it is dry. Fine and sunny, dry too across Iran. We push away into Pakistan, again largely dry. Some very wintry weather still very much in place across northern parts of India through Afghanistan. New Delhi should be largely dry here, temperatures at around 23 Celsius. I think you may well see some grey skies though, so a little overcast if we should call it that. Plenty of cloud too, and some showers continuing into Sri Lanka, the far south of India. Temperatures in Colombo at around 34 Celsius. It's brightening up nicely for South Africa, but a few showers a possibility around the eastern and southern Cape. The wettest weather, the seasonal rains continuing through Madagascar, Mozambique, Zambia, right the way across into Angola. Heavy showers now edging the way a little further north. Heavy rain does continue to affect a good part of Brazil, with further flooding for southeastern parts.
Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
Afghanistan is faced with a huge challenge.
Relations have gone really sour between us and our allies.
We have inflicted considerable damage on the enemy.
The people who make international headlines.
Ultimately, the